This is my latest co-part project. It's a 2017 Fiat 595 Abarth that I'll one day take to the Nurburgring. So in the last video, we went over all the damage to the car and made a list of all the parts we will need. We got most of the parts from Autodoc. We got the servicing kit from GSF and all the replacement parts like the rear bumper lights and the rear bumper from eBay. To get things started, we're going to take off the old bumper and transfer all the wiring over to the new one. If you like the video so far, please hit subscribe and hit the notification. It would really help me out and I would really appreciate your support. With your support, I can go on and keep building bigger and better projects. With the new bumper finally on the car, I can start putting the back of the car back together. Hopefully I won't have to take it apart again. So now I can get the rest of the interior back together again. I can start moving forwards on the rest of the build. With the back of the car finished, I can now turn my attention to fixing the front. I noticed that the brackets that hold the radiator in place were broken, and actually one was missing, so I'm not sure what happened there. But it turns out the same parts are used on a Ford KA. When it comes to releasing the aircon pipes, you want to take your time, just in case there's still gas in the system. Luckily in my case, there was no gas left in the system. Now I've got the rad pack off, it's time to unbox the kit that I got from Autodoc and start transferring the cooling fan to the new radiator so we can start installing everything back onto the car. Before I can install any parts onto the car, I had to remove the broken brackets first. I just used a drill and a drill bit to drill out the old rivets and then replaced it with the new brackets that I got off eBay. To install the new brackets to the frame, I used a rivet gun that I got off Amazon. It looks cheap, but actually it's pretty good, and I'll leave a link in the description below. Installing the new brackets was actually the easiest part of the whole build, even though it's quite a simple repair. Everything seemed to take a lot longer than it should have done. So with the rad pack installed, it's time to top up the fluids and bleed the cooling system. So before I can do anything else, I need to get the battery back in the car. I didn't realise at the time, but the battery was actually causing me quite a few electrical issues, which I later figured out. With the engine running and the fluids topped up, it's now time to check for leaks. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. The car's been running for 20 minutes now. There doesn't seem to be any airlocks in the system and the vents are running nice and hot, so I'm fairly happy with it. Inside the car is really hot. To do that, first air force will stop. So with the cooling system complete, we now know we don't have any leaks anywhere and the vents are running hot. So now we can get back onto putting the rest of the car together. The minute, the only way I can get in the car from the back, from manually releasing the boot because none of the electrics work. So now we've got to figure out what's causing that problem. So as I mentioned earlier, nothing was working. The car wouldn't lock with the key and I couldn't open the boot either. So at this point I decided to start stripping the boot lid down to try and figure out if there are any wires that are damaged. At this point my wife pointed out that possibly it could be related to the battery. So we went down to GSF, we got a new battery, and would you believe it, it fixed all of the problems. I'm actually training her to be a mechanic without her realising it. So with the new battery in place, it's time to make sure that the central locking works and all of the electrical issues are now gone. The last thing I wanted to do before the weekend was over was take off this fake carbon wrap. I think it looks so much better without it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So that's it for this video. If you like what you've seen so far, please hit subscribe and hit the notifications. It really go a long way to supporting the channel and I'd really appreciate it. See you guys in the next one.